Welcome back to the deep dive. We usually find ourselves buried in strategy docs, deep data sets, complex market movements,
Right. The hard numbers.
the hard numbers.
Yeah.
But every so often, you come across a piece of content that is so strategically effective in its emotional delivery
Yeah.
that it demands its own deep dive.
And that's exactly what we're doing today.
It is. Our mission today is to unpack that exact model. We are diving into this really powerful piece of community building. It's from a blog, and it's titled, "It's Not Just Jewelry, It's Joy in the Everyday." And this is less about traditional market analysis and much, much more about unpacking the, what she calls the heart work.
The hard work, yeah.
The calculated emotional mission that's driving this entire concept. We're actually looking at that mission as a competitive advantage.
It's an essential pivot for us to make, I think,
Yeah.
because this deep dive, it's all about synthesizing the perspective of the author, Carrie Masadi.
Right.
And her material, it shows she's intentionally positioned herself not as just a retailer, but as a three-part consultant.
How so?
She calls herself a lifestyle encourager, a confidence catalyst, and I love this, a sparkle coach for women ready to shine.
Sparkle Coach. I love that.
So we're analyzing how these beliefs, these core ideas, fuel a business that really thrives on authentic connection over just a transaction.
That sets the stage perfectly. We are going to find that genuine encouragement in her material and really look at how that vulnerability works as, a highly effective marketing tool.
It really is.
Okay, let's unpack this,
Yeah.
and let's start right at the beginning, where she just immediately validates the overwhelming complexity of modern life.
Yes. She uses those opening lines to build this immediate high-trust rapport. It's brilliant positioning, she writes. Some women build empires. Some women build dinner after a long day.
And then the kicker.
Some of us do both, in stretchy pants with a messy bun and a whole lot of heart.
That quote is just pure gold from a branding perspective.
Oh, totally.
It captures that exhausting reality of the modern woman who is just constantly switching contexts. 1 minute you're leading a huge team meeting on Zoom, and then 2 hours later, you're trying to solve the crisis of what's for dinner.
And both feel equally high stakes, don't they?
They do, but only one of them usually gets celebrated.
That's the key insight right there. She is granting equal validation to both things. The ambition, the empire, and the sheer constant effort of just running a household.
And the stretchy pants and messy bun. That's so smart.
It's anti-aspirational marketing. She's basically saying, you don't have to look perfect or, feel like a CEO 24/7 to belong here.
It's so inclusive. And that phrase, a whole lot of heart, that's the thread that ties it all together. It tells the reader that their effort, whatever it looks like, is seen.
It's seen and it's valued. It creates this sense of safety, of belonging.
It means you don't have to choose. The big public win and the small private one, they both count here.
Precisely. And that recognition is exactly what fuels her main idea, which brings us to how she redefines sparkle.
Yes, because she very quickly moves beyond just selling a thing. And this is where the brand identity, for me, really solidifies. She just lays out her whole philosophy. The product is almost secondary.
It is. Carrie Masadi's mission statement is right there. She says, I'm not just here to share sparkle. I'm here to remind you that you sparkle right where you are, as you are.
Carrie really nailed this point. What a masterful shift. She moves the focus completely from the external thing,
The jewelry, the makeup.
whatever it is, to the internal state of the customer. The sparkle isn't something you buy, it's something you already have.
And psychologically, that is just an incredibly smart move. So much of consumerism is about creating a feeling of lack. Like
Yeah.
you need this to be complete.
Right, you're not enough as you are.
Exactly. But Carrie's model just flips that on its head. The product becomes a catalyst, a reminder of the worth that's already there.
Which makes it feel so much more valuable.
Infinitely. The goal isn't a transaction, it's empowerment. And that creates a much, much deeper brand loyalty.
So you're buying a tool for your own confidence, not just a commodity. And this whole mission-driven thing, it's really clear in how she talks about her business. She calls it heart work.
That's the strategic contrast right there. She's totally transparent about it being her side hustle, that she earns a commission.
Yeah, she doesn't hide that.
Not at all. But she insists the motivation is deeper than the income. And that distinction is so important today.
So she defines it as heart work. And in doing that, she's consciously rejecting that, that exhausting hype or hustle culture.
People are so burned out on that.
So burned out. And she just steps in with this alternative,
What's fascinating to me is to analyze the economics of that choice. I mean, why show up so authentically when it feels vulnerable?
Because she believes in something.
Yes, she says, I believe in the power of beauty to lift a heavy day. That belief system is what cuts through all the noise online.
It's relational. It's about providing real emotional value first. The transaction might follow, but it's not the driving force.
Exactly. A community, not a commodity.
Which is why her section on Small Business Saturday is so telling. It's not about, hey, here are the sales.
No, it's about what that moment represents to the community she's built. She repositions the entire idea of a sale.
She lists out these 3 ideas that are basically the pillars of her whole brand.
Okay, so first, she says it's a woman choosing courage.
Which turns a purchase into like an act of self-investment. It's brave.
Right. Second, it's a dream built one conversation at a time.
Yeah.
It emphasizes that personal grassroots growth.
I love that.
And third, and this might be the most important one, it's a community that sees value beyond a price tag.
So the whole conversation shifts. It's not about how much did you spend. It's how much are you willing to invest in a vision that actually sees and validates you.
And if you connect that to the big picture, that's how a smaller business can compete with huge retailers. It's not about ad spend.
It's about deep personal connection, mission, heart work.
That heart work is basically substituting for a massive marketing budget.
Which naturally brings us to the actual impact of all this, the ripple effect that this emotional support creates.
Yes.
She is so grateful for her community's engagement, and she keeps stressing that the brand is about people, specifically about you.
And she makes it so clear that support doesn't always mean spending money. Sometimes the biggest currency is just affirmation, engagement.
She details these quiet, subtle acts that really count, like it might be wearing a new piece of jewelry and just feeling extra you.
Extra you. I love that phrasing.
The intentionality of that moment.
Or, and this is so vital, forwarding a post to a friend because she needs to read this. That means her content is being used as a real tool for support.
It's emotional, though. And then there's the simple act of just reading her blog and quietly nodding, because it just makes you feel so understood.
Those quiet nods, that's the real metric of success for this kind of model.
It is. And, this is where I have to pause for a second. This line from Carrie's blog stopped me in my tracks. That idea of feeling extra you, just by putting on a pair of hoops, it reminded me of when I started this show.
Really?
Yeah. I remember feeling completely overwhelmed by all the dense material we analyze. And just to boost my confidence for those first few episodes, I wore this tiny, ridiculously shiny piece of costume jewelry.
No way.
Yeah, something totally insignificant. It wasn't expensive at all, but putting on that one little piece of external sparkle, it forced my mindset to shift. It was a physical reminder to show up for myself, to own the space.
That's it right there.
That small choice created that internal feeling of being extra you.
That is the perfect real-world example of the ripple effect she's talking about. It's that psychological process where a small, manageable external thing, it acts as a trigger.
A cognitive trigger, yeah.
It catalyzes this profound internal feeling of confidence, of being seen. The emotional impact is it's so much bigger than the price of the item. And that's why her content is so effective.
And that ripple effect, going beyond a bank account and into actual emotional well-being, that's the real impact she's aiming for.
And that leads us to pull all these threads together in this final part, really synthesizing the core beliefs that are the foundation of her community.
What does it all boil down to?
Well, she defines her bedrock principles very clearly. First, she says she believes in the confidence that can bloom from just a single compliment.
Which is the emotional equivalent of that extra you moment.
Exactly. And second, and this is her whole purpose, she believes in creating a space where women can feel seen, celebrated, and this is crucial, never alone.
I loved how she tied this into faith and confidence. It's not, it's not preachy. It just speaks to this deep emotional belief system, a faith and connection.
A faith in the power of encouragement.
Yeah. And that willingness to lean into a belief system is what makes her content feel so much richer than just the sanitized sales pitch.
Well, the language she uses, seen, celebrated, never alone, those are essential human needs. She's filling a core emotional gap in the lives of busy modern women. Her platform is a sanctuary that just happens to also be a storefront.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because she closes with this blanket reassurance that applies no matter what. It completely removes any pressure to buy.
It's the ultimate retention tool.
It is. She says, whether you're shopping this weekend or simply showing up for yourself, I see you. You're doing beautifully.
That closing line is the ultimate validation of the whole heart work idea. It just strips away any obligation.
In any allocation at all.
And it replaces it with this radical, unwavering support for just existing, for doing the best you can. It ties all the way back to the woman in the stretchy pants building dinner.
So to summarize, this deep dive really shows that Carrie Masadi's corner of the internet is just radically supportive.
For sure.
Its primary purpose, if you look at it strategically, is to validate the everyday, often invisible efforts of her audience.
Reminding them that the hustle doesn't have to cancel out the heart.
And that emotional connection is the bedrock of a really sustainable brand.
The intention is so clear. Encouragement is a powerful and, a bankable tool. And sometimes that side hustle really is a mission disguised as a business.
It's a testament to showing up authentically and strategically.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now?
Well, that's the question.
Based on this, what is one small intentional piece of sparkle? It could be physical, like wearing a bright color, or it could be mental, like just scheduling 5 minutes of quiet time. What's one thing you can incorporate into your day to feel extra you?
Think about that intentional internal shift that follows the external act.
Find your own heart work, and let that be the foundation of whatever you decide to build.
You can read the full blog and discover more of Carrie's favorites and sparkle tools at thesparklelounge.com.